Captain Peter Cutsey, South Korea. This is my briefing room. This is part 2 of the RNP runway 08 left at Muscat. And in this video, we are going to do a go-around missed approach. Go around. Set go around thrust. Block 15. Positive rate gear up. Accelerating and cleaning up. And we'll pause just for a moment. And we are continuing in LNAV and cleaning up. As we do so, the autopilot just tripped off there, so we re-engage the autopilot. And we're climbing to 6,000 feet. We'll just pause the video for a moment. All right, we carried out the missed approach procedure, and as we briefed, and we're established at 6,000 feet, and we are going to follow the procedure to enter the hold. We'll just adjust our heading to our current heading. And once we approach the holding pattern, then I'll resume the video again. The after takeoff procedure would have been done by the pilot monitoring, which was to check the air conditioning packs and bleed set. The engine start switch is off, the auto brake off, and the landing gear lever up and off. That has been completed. And then the pilot flying, who was the captain at this time, would call for the after takeoff checklist. We'll assume now that the after takeoff checklist is complete. Don't rush into doing a checklist until both pilots are certain that the aircraft is under control and not busy doing something else. Then you can actually do the checklist. The procedure is done by memory once the flaps are up and the light is out, which we did. That was a little mid-air refueling. All right, we're going to be entering the hold in approximately 6 or 7 miles. We have set up the courses of 264 in the MCP and 2 in the VOR, so that we can actually check our map once we get established in the holding. So we'll enter the hold, and we'll just have a look at the raw data of the map to make sure the map is correct. And then that will complete this portion, part 2, of the go-around procedure and missed approach for the RNP runway 08 left. Coming up to the VOR. and entering the hole. Just want you to observe how much bank we have on right now, only 10 degrees. The FMC is doing a super job automatically with that strong headwind. You remember in my video where we taught you how to set a heading outbound when we were using raw data and we didn't have a map? And I mentioned that with the FMC tracking, it would vary the bank. Well, there's a good example. And as the wind is becoming more of a crosswind, the bank is increasing. If you notice, we went from even less than 10 degrees, we're now close to 18 degrees in the turn to maintain that track. And so that's how efficient the flight management system is. And when we are flying in raw data, we don't have use of the map with FMCs that have failed, we have to compensate for that by flying a pear-shaped pattern. We're going to make the same observations when we turn the final turn, just in coming up to intercept the 084 radial inbound. The FMC is flying a perfect pattern, racetrack pattern, but it will vary the bank. And in the case of turning on to the 084 radial, course 264, the system will increase the bank limit to the limit, because the crosswind component at one point will be exactly 90 degrees. So we'll see that effect in reverse as we turn in this racetrack pattern. It will give us a good understanding of the raw data pear-shaped pattern that we taught you in a previous video. So if you're looking at the bank now, we're 26 degrees. In order to maintain that perfect racetrack pattern, the bank angle is 27 degrees. The limit is very close to 28 plus or minus a few degrees. And there are crosswind limits for holding patterns, but the FMC generally in this strong wind, right now it's almost a perfect tailwind, the bank has decreased to 20 degrees. And as we turn through that last 90 degrees, you'll see the bank actually increasing. So here again, this is a great lesson in understanding that pear-shaped pattern that we did without the use of a map during FMC failure. You can see now the bank has started to increase from 20 to 21 to 22 degrees, 24, 25 degrees. And we'll set up the VOR mode just to give you an idea how good the FMC does it, by staying in a constant turn, but by varying the bank in order to actually track the 084 radial 264 course inbound. And this is how we could learn, really. Here we are at the track bar is just starting to move when we were going through a heading of 220. So we were roughly 45 degrees off the inbound course and using 20 degrees of bank for this. So this is something to remember for our future reference when we are flying without a map. And so here we are, bang on course, coming inbound, so the map checks, and we'll go back to the map position, and we will terminate the video at this point. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson in part 2 of the missed approach and go around procedure, and a few little extras with respect to understanding the holding pattern.